Just to let you know, first of all, where we're heading with this presentation, I want you to walk away with 3 take-home values. And that is, the first one, self-discovery. The better we understand ourselves, the better we're going to be able to talk to ourselves, especially in a match. Self-discovery. Point number 2 is team awareness. So learn about yourself, learn about your team. That could be your doubles team, it could be your partner at home, it could be a team at work or someone you're leading at work. And point number 3, walk away with a winning strategy based on heightened communication skills. Okay, so we learn about ourselves, self-discovery, through the playing styles that we're about to go over. Okay, and then we're looking at team discovery. The better I understand my partner, the better I can walk away with a winning strategy to communicate with them better. If you've ever wondered, you're watching like a doubles team and they have some sort of like magic energy and you think, why do they just look so fluid on the court? Okay, it goes beyond forehands and backhands. Often it looks like they've known each other for years, and sometimes they have, and sometimes they haven't. Just like in our environment, sometimes we've known our partner for years and years and years, our doubles partner I'm talking about, okay? And sometimes we haven't. All of a sudden, our normal partner's away and we have to communicate with somebody else. So we're going to go over some fun tennis-based personality playing styles so that you can actually think about, hey, that one sounds a little bit like me, okay? Or maybe I'm a little bit like I can recognize, of course we're a combination of all 4 of the profiles, okay, but you might find that you'll gravitate a little bit more towards one or the other. All right, and then start to potentially think about who's the person that you practice with the most. So I want to tell you a brief story. So in 2008, I had been coaching on the tour for around 8 years, 5 years with juniors and then 3 years with seniors. And to be honest, I was quite burnt out from the experience. And what I found was I'd often take, say, 6 to 8 players away, overseas to quite challenging countries. And I'd come back to Australia and I'd say, hey, I worked really well with those 4 players. And, those 3 or 4 other players, okay, we didn't quite have a great connection. Maybe you should put them next time with maybe another coach or whatever it might be. And so then, again, through the intensity of traveling and coaching at that level, I actually got quite burnt out with the whole experience, not being able to connect with everybody that I was working with. So I went and studied neuro-linguistic programming, emotional intelligence, life coaching, business coaching, and all these things, because I thought I need to better understand, of course, who I am, okay, so that I can bring out the best in my players. And that was like, when the penny drops, the aha moment, I was like, oh my goodness, the more I learnt about this stuff, it became, I need to change who I am to bring out the best in my players. Okay, so I'm not saying you need, on a doubles court, I'm not suggesting that you need to change yourself, but you do need to be aware of how you talk to your partner if you want to bring out the best in them, which of course we do. We want to bring out the best in ourselves and in them. Let's begin with the consistent player. Okay, otherwise known as the relator personality. So here you'll find that their workplace or their space that they live in is quite personal, it's relaxed, and they really prefer maintaining relationships, very loyal, and in the workplace, 60% of work people are actually this consistent, reliable, loyal personality. All right, their decisions are very considered. Okay, so just have a think about that. My pro player example there is Caroline Wozniacki. Now, I had the chance to meet her when she was younger. She's one of the nicest, little girls at those tournaments, very pleasant. And today, as an adult, one of the most liked girls on tour. So this is the consistent player, okay? That's the first playing style, yeah? Let's hop into the next one. The all-court player, the thinker. Now, this style, you'll find their workplace or their appearance quite formal, sometimes quite conservative, but you'll notice a massive amount of structure, huge amount of organizational skills, and they really prefer to have precise, accurate, statistical, logical information, and their decisions are quite deliberate. My pro player example here, even though I've never met Rafael Nadal, I have met Uncle Tony, okay, that very much describes him as a boy, more indirect, okay, more self-contained as a young boy. You see that today. Obviously, he's very structured and particular about the way he goes about things as an adult. You're getting it there. All right, so that's the all-court player, okay? All right, over to this one now. We've got the aggressive baseliner, the director, self-contained yet very direct in their playing style and their personality. Their appearance is quite business-like, okay? And they really prefer control, success, very goal-driven, and they like to be in charge. They know their strengths, can be quite entrepreneurial. So their decisions, quick, decisive. Okay, so that's the aggressive baseliner. My pro player example there is Victoria Azarenka. And when Australia was playing Belarus in the Junior Fed Cup, one of the rounds against them in the early rounds, Azarenka, my player was 4-1 up, and she was watching the match. She went up to my player, on the edge of the put her hands on the fence like that, and she went, Bella, 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 roosh, roosh, roosh. And I thought, what is that? And I'm sitting on the court and I'm looking down at this little girl, and we'd just double faulted, 4-1 up, double fault. Bella, 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 whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And I thought, who is this? It was Victoria Azarenka. She was competitive. She was driven. She was goal-orientated. And she wanted to get the job done for Belarus. Okay, interesting. Now as an adult, we see similar traits, the way that she prepares for her matches and so forth. And finally, yes, I do love to present. I love being out here. I love sharing a message one to many. So the crowd pleaser is very much what comes naturally to my personality. Okay, with this personality, appearance is usually fashionable. Like if I have a clash of colours, I feel a bit weird. So I love the visual side. Prefers flexibility, playful, very playful as a personality style. Needs a stimulating environment, likes to be admired is a trait, and the decisions are quite spontaneous. So sometimes in a presentation I can go off track a little bit. Okay, and my pro player example there is Bernard Tomic. Bernard Tomic, I took him away as a young boy. He used to stand at the net and he used to be able to go laver, Newcomb, rafter, just so playful in his way that he went about everything as a young boy. And you see that today in him as an adult. So these are the playing styles. So I want you just to reflect on yourself and just, okay, maybe I'm a little bit here. It's okay. You could do that. You could have a little bit of that going on. Okay, but just start to have a little bit of a reflection on where you might sit. Okay? All right. Now, I've been doing this program since about 2009 with all sorts of people, players, pro players, beginning players, corporates, in boardrooms, and so forth. Now think about the game style, how you like to play tennis. And think about, does your personality match your game style? Now, in all my years of doing this, when I ask people to stand in the quadrants, and then I say, now move to the quadrant of how you like to play tennis. In other words, are you consistent, baseliner, you just get everything back? Are you an all-court player, that deep thinker, that strategist? Are you the aggressive baseliner, bam, bam? Or the crowd pleaser is also got a little bit of the all-court, but basically goes for the drop shot when they're right out of the court. They're the ones that are always going to go for the through the legs, okay? And when I ask people to move, 30% of the time, people move. 70% of the time, people actually end up staying in their quadrant. Now, here's the beauty. There's no right or wrong. This is a playful way to better understand yourself. Absolutely no right or wrong. Just an awareness. to help you now communicate with your doubles partner. So now I go through the 4 how to best communicate with your partner. So remember with this one, how to communicate with a consistent player, the relator. You need to spend time to get to know them. Ask them, how was your holiday? I know your dog had that operation last week. How's everything going? Okay, be patient, avoid too much detail. Be sure to provide reassurance. Show them that you care about their opinion and give them a chance to express themselves. Make sure you share common interests and personal goals. Make sense? All right, great. Moving right along. The all-court player. Present your ideas clearly in a logical fashion, okay? And this is a really big one here. And I've had to learn, obviously, remember, this is me over here. When I work with players, especially parents, in this category, they're always going to want to know why, and they're always going to need time to prepare for a meeting. So if you spring, remember I'm spontaneous, okay, if I spring something on this type of personality, okay, chances are, or all of a sudden I come up with a ridiculous tactic, we got to cross 100% and it's 15-40, this person's going, you are crazy and I don't want to do that. I don't want to play with you anymore. Okay, so make sure that you encourage the thinkers to share their ideas, but give them plenty of time to think about it. Avoid rushing the analyzer, the all-court player, and focus on reason to help achieve shared and common goals. Okay, communication with the aggressive baseliner. All right, get to the point. Communicate quickly. Be decisive. Let them be in charge and goal-driven. All right, and finally, I don't even need to look at this one because this is me. Get excited with them. Be patient when I go off task or off topic, okay? They will digress, all right? So they do need help them with structure, but allow them a chance to be creative. So I hope that in just having a think about the styles you're thinking about yourself, you're thinking about your partner that you normally play with, so that I gave you a couple of communication tips for when you meet in the hotspot, whether you're returning or serving with your partner, to be able to understand how to get the message across in a way that's going to appeal to them and you. How do you bring the best out in you, and how do you bring out the best in them? I'm all about winning strategies. I love to win, or I love to learn. So I hope that this was an investment in your time, and thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, so that you can walk away with that one winning strategy or one insight about something. And if not, come and see me for your little fortune cookie positive message, because at the end of the day, the ball is in your court. Thank you very much.